The pet portrait painting exercise everyone should try is painting a pet with just flat color shapes. This is going to help with so many things. It's going to help you keep your painting organized into light and shadow. It's going to help you work from big shapes to small shapes. It's going to help you with your brush work. It's going to help you understand and identifying values. I mean, I could go on, but I'm just going to show you this full exercise. And actually, this video you're about to watch, this exercise tutorial, is pulled directly from my new Pet Portrait Painting 101 course. It comes out April 7th, but a week before that, I'm going to release 3 more videos from my course. They're going to be short, extremely helpful, information-packed videos, but I'm only going to be sharing those to my email list. So you really want to make sure you are signed up to the Paint Coach newsletter. I'll put a link in the description of this video where you can sign up for that. That way you don't have to worry about missing out on these upcoming free videos from my pet portrait course. All right, I'm done talking. Let's jump onto this exercise and learn something. All right, doing a new exercise here where we're going to be combining color and value. You can see I just drew it out using a grid. You can still see my grid lines there. And I blocked out the shadow. You can see like I just lightly shaded in the shadow. I just used ultramarine blue and burnt sienna to draw it out very lightly, which is paint thinner. And what this is going to help us do, we're going to block out just, we're going to paint this very flat, just flat shapes, not worrying about detail, because I really want you to be able to step back and see the big picture, especially when you have an animal with different colored fur. It can be easy to get lost in light and shadow, you know, the white fur, the brown fur, reflected green light and everything. And just being able to do this exercise and just kind of like slow down and see what's going on, I feel like it's going to help you a lot moving forward. I just put a black background because I just don't want to be worrying about background in this exercise. But let's just start with the shadow side. I just want like an average shadow color, meaning I don't want this green, like that's reflected light. This really bright blue, that's the skylight coming down. So something kind of in between. So maybe some black, some white, still some blue in there, and maybe some burnt sienna. Now I forgot to say, my palette, ivory black, ultramarine blue, alizarin crimson, burnt sienna, cadmium red, yellow ochre, cadmium lemon, and titanium white. So I'm kind of looking like around here, maybe a little bit of crimson. Looks a little too purpley. Come back with yellow ochre. Maybe a little more blue. A little white. I think I might have made it a little too bright, and maybe a little burnt sienna. Just trying to get kind of like a desaturated purple almost. It's a little too purpley for me still. I'm gonna push a little bit of purple's complement, which is yellow. It's not too bad. So let's just block this all in. The main thing is also the value here. Dialing in the right value. I know you might be thinking like, oh, it looks very, very blue. Again, that blue is any area that is facing upward and catching that light. But I'm just gonna add a little bit more blue. It's gonna mix up more the same color here. I'll just fill all this in. I'm gonna see like right here is a little bit of a shadow. Put a little more black into this. Mixing up more color. I feel like so much of painting is just getting or learning to paint is changing the way you see things. I feel like that's what a lot of exercises do, is they change the way you see things. I feel like most of the time it's getting to see things more simply. Like the more and more I learn, the more I realize the answer is like, see it more simply, paint it more simply, you know. Okay, so I think we got, is that all the white fur? I think so. So that's the fur, the white fur in shadow. Now, let's do the white fur, the white fur in light. Now I'm not gonna make it straight white. I'm still gonna pull some of that previous color in there. And I'm not making it the brightest that I can, kind of making an average. I'm just going to paint it in flat shape. Really like this little shape that comes down right there. Now I like right on the edge here, kind of right here, a little light coming from behind, like wrapping around a little bit. I'm gonna switch my brush here. You know, use whatever brush you're comfortable with, whatever size. And if your values, when you put them in, they're not perfect right off the bat, that's okay. You can adjust them. I probably should be using a bigger brush right here, but well, almost done. I realized I didn't put anything for the nose. We'll just mix another color for the nose. That'll be fun. So there you go. Got the white fur shadow, white fur and light. It's amazing how just doing that simple thing of just designating a certain color and value for the base doesn't mean it's going to stay like this. We're not going to add more onto it, but it's already, the light is already working. So let's just do the other color fur. So let's start maybe some burnt sienna, maybe a little yellow. It's gonna be a little too vibrant probably. Yellow ochre. It's actually not bad. Yeah, that's not bad. But let's do the shadow first. So let's start over here. A little burnt sienna, maybe a little bit of black. Maybe, yeah, touch of crimson. No, let's get some cad red. Kind of something like that. Let's see. That's not too bad. Again, it's not going to be my darkest dark. It's going to be an average. Mix it up a little more. This really helps with things like this ear. You know, just breaking it down in light and shadow first. It's going to help you like understand the form of it more. You know, all this, just grouping it, light and shadow. On paper towel. Are there any other shadow areas? I guess over here. Some shadow. I'm trying to see what other brown fur areas are not getting hit with a light. I mean, it's a little bit of a stretch, but I'm just gonna put that there. A little form of the forehead. Now, the light side. I think I'm gonna start with some yellow ochre. Maybe push some cad red. There's a little yellow. Maybe a little bit lighter. Maybe a touch of red. I mean white. Not bad. A little yellow, a little red. Again, like I'm not trying to go for like this brightest area. I'm kind of finding an average. But like when I step back, it should still be reading like it's getting hit with the light. I'm gonna have to come back with the background, like trim up these, clean up the edges a bit. Okay, going down to a smaller brush for the smaller areas. Actually, I think that should be in shadow there. Come back. Then a little bit of shadow around the eye there. Oops, totally forgot down here. Let's just hop back to my big brush. Now back to the small brush. And I hope you see how like this is just such a good way to start a painting. Like I'll start a lot of pet portraits like this. because now that you got this, like now you could go in and, you know, maybe you lighten this area here. You put in that blue, you put in the green, and I'll kind of show you that just like very, very simply here. I think you'll be kind of amazed at like how simply you can do this stuff and it work. Okay. Just gotta clean up. Edges. Well, this doesn't have to be perfect, just an exercise, again, to help get you to think differently and see differently. Let's just do the nose for fun. Let's just mix up, we can actually get some burnt sienna, some white, maybe a touch of crimson, get kind of like a pinkish color, and that's fine. That'll do. I know the nose isn't fully pink, but it's okay. It still works. It's still getting across the point of the lesson. All right. Now I probably could clean this up more and more, but well, actually, this is like a cool fun part is you can like get a little more specific if you want, like put a little light on that side right there, like coming down. I think that's there. Okay. Now you're gonna find if you I mean the exercise, like this is the exercise, just getting this down. But I'm gonna show you how you can take it a little bit further if you want to. I feel like the easiest thing to do first is go to darkest darks. So let's just say I'm just gonna call it the orange fur. Let's go a darkest dark there. Let's get some black and some red, but keep it really, really dark. It's like now you could go in and push deeper, say these ears here. And I'm just doing this very simply for the purpose of the exercise. But you can see how, like, if you were painting a regular dog portrait, like how this would help. So now I just made those ears a little bit deeper, which is cool. Or, you know, like this part up here, it's a little darker. And pretty much just what I'm doing is just finding subtle variations. Let's do that reflected blue light from the sky, because that's what that is. So I get some blue, white, maybe a little bit of yellow. Maybe knock it back a little bit of the black. Let me kind of test this out. Maybe a little bit lighter. Just kind of like any of these kind of blue shapes that I see. It's just going to add, and go a little bit lighter, just add that much more form. This is actually really fun. You can see I'm kind of going in the direction of the fur with these light blue shapes. Again, doing this pretty quickly and There we go. Oh, look at that. Now same thing, let's go to the orange fur. Let's create like a little lighter of a value. Now this is coming back to the exercise we did before, the cutout filter. I'm finding a slightly lighter value now. Let me see if this works. It's not bad. Maybe a little more yellow ochre. Maybe a touch of crimson. I don't know. Let's see. I'm squinting, I'm trying to see where the value shapes are. To add form. I feel like this whole back here is pretty bright. This here is not as bright, but I do remember up here, those are brighter. You see how like form is starting to happen just with these simple shapes? You know, I've added color to it now, but it's just like the exercise we did before. We're just added the other element of color. Let's do the same with the white fur, because I know you're dying too, because I am. So I'm just gonna add some white to my white fur color. And this is also just we're knowing the form of the dog. It's gonna help knowing the structure. It's gonna help. Let's just do the same with the nose here. Let's add a little white to that. And then, boop. There you go, nice nose. Now, this green underneath, this kind of, I was dying to do this. It's getting some yellow, ivory black, maybe a touch of cad red. Let me see if I can. I gotta figure out the value. Is that maybe a little white? It's really helpful right here. Another chin like that. And this is like, you know, just like the blue was any area that was facing upward, this is like the opposite, is anywhere facing down towards that grass. So that's pretty much it. I mean, you can go through here and keep playing around, kind of see how far you want to take it, kind of studying the shapes. But just the exercise of blocking it out simply, not worrying, you know, not having detail get in the way of fully understanding what's going on. Like another, this is definitely brighter here, for example. Ooh, I see a good place to put some green. Is right in there. Just letting that mix into the color that's already there. The way it looks like it's reflected light. All right.
a touch of that, but very useful exercise. That is it for this video. Feel free if you want to like take it further than I did, totally can. But that's it for this one. I'll see you in the next video.
All right, hope you enjoyed that video. Again, you don't want to miss out on the other videos from my pet portrait course that I'm releasing for free just to my email list. And if you want to sign up to the email list, the link to do that is in the description of this video. All right, I'm Chris Fornatero here telling you to go get painting.